And I mean, okay, okay. And I mean, okay, okay. And I mean, okay, okay. Power Monday. Power Monday all up in your area. How y'all feeling tonight? It's the Daily Go Getimism Show. I'm your host, Sun752. And tonight on this Power Monday, May 22nd, we are talking about feeling like you are talking above people's heads. Feel like you're talking over their heads. Feeling like you're talking over their heads. Or feeling like you're talking over their heads. Have you ever felt like that? Do you know what talking over somebody's heads is? I'm sure that we are all adults and we all know. See, in order for me to say this to y'all, I have to assume that I'm not talking over your heads. When you're talking over somebody's heads, it means that you are speaking to them on a level that they have not reached yet. So they don't really understand what you're talking about. It means that you're communicating, you think that you're communicating with a person that you are not reaching at all. You know, you may be using concepts, words, definitions, and a way of speaking, a style of speaking that people can't really grab onto. So although they hear what you are saying and they understand the same language that you're speaking, when you are speaking about one thing, that you the person that you're talking to, they think that you're talking about another thing or something totally out of bounds of what you may be trying to communicate. So it can make communication almost impossible. It can make it hard. It can make it confusing. When you think that you're talking to somebody, you think that you're vibing. You think that, oh, this person really gets it. I don't know if y'all have ever experienced that. I know I have. But when you really think that you reaching somebody, you think that y'all vibing, you think that y'all are connecting, whatever, and only to find out that that person ain't know what you was talking about. And they may have never told you that they didn't know what you were talking about. They may have told somebody else, and somebody else may have came to you and said, listen, man, such and such really likes you, or they really, really dig you. But they find you to be very curious because you be using words that they don't understand, and you be talking about stuff that they never experienced. They don't know nothing about it. So you talking about the sun, moon, stars, constellations, comets, meteors, and galaxies and universe and all of that kind of stuff. And they ain't never seen nothing past the moon and the sun and maybe some stars. They don't even know what the Big Dipper is. So you're talking about subject material, subject matter that you think everybody knows. You have you ever got to the party late, got to the verbal or mental party late? Let me explain. You know how you learn something that you think everybody else already knew? You thinking like, oh, everybody else been knew that, and I just learned it today. So sometimes when you have learned something, you may have learned it way before other people have learned it. And so you speaking like, all right, now I can finally talk to people. Now I can finally get on the same level with people. Now I can finally, vibe with people, kick it with people, have a good time with people, go together, get togethers and parties and functions with people. And you realize, like, nah, man, you talking to gangsters about corporate shit, thinking that those gangsters understand corporate shit. They gangsters. They understand gangster shit. They don't understand corporate shit. And you may have done that plenty of times because you may be the type of person or have been the type of person that doesn't judge a person's intelligence or the ability to learn or know things on their you might not be the type of person that bases those things on their schooling or their job or where they live or their income level. So you may be the type of person that gives somebody who, I don't know, is a waiter or a waitress or whatever, you may give them the benefit of the doubt. So you thinking like, well, just because you never went to school to become a psychologist doesn't mean that you can't understand um, psychological concepts. And sometimes that's true, but guess what? A lot of times it's not. A lot of times it's not. So you think that you're talking about talking to a person about things that they can relate to, and they're not. You know who experiences this a lot? People like older people who date younger people. You notice that they don't never want to talk about this shit. One thing about older people that date younger people, and I mean significantly older, I'm talking about like, here you are a senior citizen, you are a whole 65 years old, and you dating somebody that's 30 or younger. And one thing they try to point to immediately to throw everybody off the scent is, yeah, you know, they're very intelligent. They're really mature for their age. They've been places and done things that people their age haven't done. So they're trying to let you know that somebody half your age can keep up with you. But the people who have dated younger people, they know that they have to dumb it down a lot. Because ain't no way, I don't care what kind of schooling you have, you're not going to have the same thought patterns as somebody who is double your age. You're just not. You haven't been there. You haven't seen it. You may have gotten all the schooling in the world, but there's still going to be some things that somebody who is 2 times your age is going, unless they retarded or something like that, they're going to be things that they can talk to you about, teach you about, and relate to you about that you're not gonna be able to relate to. So that's one of the things that couples who have a big age difference run into, but you don't never hear them talk about that. The older person talking above the younger person's head. You know, they already have to deal with the judgment that people have on them about dating someone significantly younger than them. They ain't trying to confirm everybody else's assertions about how it ain't, how it's not really a good idea, how it may be a little dirty and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, the bottom line is they might be talking above their partners, their spouses, their lovers' heads. And you may have been speaking above somebody else's head before and not even realized it. Here you are talking corporate shit to gangsters. They not gangsters. I'm sorry. You're not a gangster. So when he starts talking that G shit, or he or she starts talking that G shit, that strike while the iron is hot shit, that, eye for an eye, they took one of ours, so we got to take 3 of theirs. They might not be speaking above your head, but y'all ain't communicating, because you might be trying to get them to understand how that's not a good idea and how it might be more conducive to their freedom and comfort to eliminate the competition in slower, more strategic ways. Like, in other words, you trying to talk them out of a drive-by, and they like, nigga, are you riding or not? Well, all right. So that's the reverse. we gonna keep it where we started from. Peace, y'all. Stacy White, what's going on? T. Carey Wright, Mia Cunningham, Carol Chamberlain, Ansel Jones, my brother Ansel Jones, my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. Thanks for coming on through, y'all. We talking about feeling like you're talking above people's heads. You know what I mean? Here you are, you thinking that y'all talking, y'all on the same page, y'all communicating, the understanding is growing, y'all got it going on. Here y'all are just having a good back and forth. And when it's real, it's real. But sometimes when people are quiet and they just listening to you, you think that they're soaking it in, and they like, damn, I don't know what this nigga talking about. I don't know what this girl's talking about. But they may be so enamored with you or in awe of you to the point where they just like, oh shoot, I'm gonna just sit back and learn. But you never know who you have sent to the dictionary before, sent to Google before. It was an eye-opening experience in 2017 when I was working in Delaware. I was working at this private school, this Catholic school in Delaware, and I was dealing and all of my staff. No, I was about to say they were all young white girls, but they weren't. Not all of them, but a few of them were young white girls. And come to find out that these white girls had dropped out of school. I'm from Philly. We don't have white girls that drop out of school. I ain't I ain't gonna lie. Unless you spend a lot of time down in Kensington or whatever, we go to school with white people. Them white people graduate. We don't know nothing about that level of poor white trash. Real shit. These little white girls had dropped out of school. They both had babies. They was on welfare. They had this little job that they had to have in order to keep the check coming. And I was like, what the hell? But anyway, I didn't know all of this at first. So I was telling them that we need to clean the banisters in the vestibule. Real shit. I said, oh, no, I'm sorry. I told them that we need to wipe down the banisters because they were dusty or sticky or whatever, and we needed to clean out the sweep and mop out the vestibule. They didn't tell me that they didn't know what the hell I was talking about. They didn't know the word vestibule, and I was like, so they came back and told me, and they were like, when you be using all these big words and stuff. I was like, what are you talking about? What big words? And they said, you told us to clean out the vestibule. And I was like, okay, what? What? And they was like, who calls that a vestibule? I was like, well, wait a minute. So we went to where I made them take me to where I told them to clean. And it was the vestibule. And they said, here. I said, okay, what's the problem? They said, that's not called a vestibule. I said, well, what do you call it? They said the foyer. I said, oh, the foyer. How about I never use the word foyer to describe a vestibule? Ever. I've never used the word foyer to describe a vestibule. But they understood foyer. They didn't understand vestibule. The other one that knocked me off my feet was the banister. They said, you told us to clean off the banisters. I had to Google it. I said, what? Yeah. So I said, well, what do you call it? They said a railing. Why can't you just talk in simple language? I said, hold on. Railing? Yeah, I've used railing, but I've never used railing to describe the piece of iron or wood that goes up the stairs. When I'm talking about a railing, I'm normally talking about something that's on flat land, like a gate or something like that. Hold on to the railing. I don't know. Banister? Like, all right, the vestibule one. Okay. I let that slide, but you don't know what a banister is? Bottom line is, I was talking above their heads and I didn't know. And had they and as you can see, they didn't want to just straight up and tell me while I was telling them. Now, at the time in 2017, I was 47 years old. They were like 20, 19, 20, 21 tops. And I'm thinking like these little young girls got a long way to go. Like they don't know nothing. Can you imagine what them and their boyfriends, talk about? I was like, whoa. Talk about talking over somebody's heads. I didn't mean to talk about talk over anybody's head. I thought we was talking about this things that children could understand. And they were near children's ages. But they both had children. high school dropouts in Delaware. I'm like, Delaware is different. Like in Pennsylvania, white people graduate, don't they? All right. So that's what we talking about tonight, man. So we talking about feeling like you're talking above people's heads. It can be a real challenge, or it can be very disheartening to you. When you trying to build with somebody, you trying to kick it with somebody, you trying to make something happen with somebody, or just really trying to communicate with somebody, and you realize like, nah, it ain't gonna happen, not the way that you think it's gonna happen, or it ain't been happening the way you've been thinking that it's been happening. Let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily, the daily go get amism show. We do this every single day, every day it rains, every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. We break it down, baby. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. I am your host, Sun 752, aka Omar, with the. And if you can't say Omar with the, well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Daily Go Getimism Show, all up in your area. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. Tonight on the Daily Go Getimism Show, we are talking about feeling like you are talking above people's heads. Let's get it popping. No stopping. No stopping. No stopping. No stopping. Mia Cunningham says, in other words, they aren't picking up on what you putting down. No, they not. No, they're not. Good way to put that. Carol says, interesting. Norris Hill says, I remember butting into a conversation about Chippendales. I thought they were talking about the cartoon Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Ah! They talk about little nasty ass naked white boys had Chip and Dale. Yo, I remember that cartoon. I'm done. Ansel Joe says, I had to learn different levels of knowledge. Manual labor jobs need to know reading and writing. Look, Ansel says, putting toys together will humble you. Wow. IKEA furniture, what you know. What y'all know about putting together IKEA furniture? All right, let's go. Norris Hill says, somebody more than 10 years younger is pushing it, unless they are highly educated with multiple letters after their name. And even then, you know what you can't teach? Time, experience. You can't teach that in a classroom. Time, experience, evolution. It can't be taught. Can't be taught in a classroom. Okay. TK right says, I had to exit out and come back so that I could see everyone. That's what's up. Emily Dunlap is in the house. Bow. She about to turn it out. And she says, you're about to step on some toes with this topic. I'm just going to sip my tea. Oh, yeah. I bet you I don't physically step on their toes because I'm going to mash them. Stomp, stomp, stomp. All right. T. Carey says, PYT, pretty white. Okay. I need to love you. PWT, white. Okay, all right. Carol says, not so, Omar. Did you forget about PWT? That's what you heard. That's what I said. You know, unless you deep down in Kensington or whatever, the South Philly white girls that, they all go to Catholic school. They be graduating, Carol. South Philly white girls, they don't, they be going to Saint this and Saint that. They be going to Hallahan and there. Where else do they have white girls growing up? Kensington and South Philly is all I can think of. Do they have white girls in West Philly? I ain't never seen no white girls that grew up in West Philly. Southwest, yeah, Southwest, but straight up West Philly. Are they? And yo, man, for real, where are the white neighborhoods in West Philly? And I ain't talking about the ones now. Like, you know, historically, as we were growing up, where did the white people in West Philly live? Because Southwest, it was flooded with them. They was keeping black people out of Southwest Philly. But West Philly, where white people in West Philly live? Holler at me. You know? There were white girls who grew up in Germantown, definitely. Because, you know, Germantown, Mount Airy, you know, it was so all right. But I'm feeling real naive right now. My ignorance is showing. Where do white people live in West Philly? Where are the white girls that be like, yeah, West Philly? I grew up in West Philly. Where? Yeah, I grew up in West Philly. I've never heard a white girl or a white boy tell me they grew up in West Philly. Southwest, not West. The white West. Where is the white West? No, it says listening to somebody's holding Wall Street conversation can be above some. I still don't understand stocks and all that kind of stuff. And my dad taught us classes about it. So I understand some stuff, but not enough to go starting to mess around with it. Carol said maybe talking isn't necessary. LOL. No, it says the Wall Street trapper has me curious. Mia says my dad would be quick to ask somebody how much schooling have they had if they didn't understand what he was saying. He would get mad at them and frustrated when they didn't understand him. I mean, your dad might have been feeling like, look, man, I'm putting this in. It don't get no simpler. It don't get no simpler. Like, you know, when you... We're going to talk about the people who like to talk above people's heads because it makes them feel smart and makes them feel superior. It makes them feel like they can belittle somebody or whatever. We're going to talk about that too. We got to talk about that because you know how that go. Me also says Wall Street talk is above my head as well, but I'm learning, investing in stocks, and I'm learning. That's what's up. No, it says Mia. He had to rise from one of the worst of ignorance. I can't understand. I mean, I can't comprehend anyone being dumb as fuck with all of the tools and resources available. Carol says, I know I won't try to put IKEA furniture together. And so says, I told some new troops to get the 463 pallet. This is the metal plate we put cargo on the plane, right? Some people never worked that section. I never knew it had a name. Oh, wow. Yeah, pallet, baby, pallet. TK Wright says, poor white thing. Repeat after me. Say 999. All right, y'all. Listen, that completes another daily Go Getimism show. I appreciate y'all coming out tonight. That was pretty cool. I learned something tonight. I hope y'all learned something too. I vowed never to speak over your heads. You know, if it is all possible, and if you feel like I'm ever talking above your heads, please don't hesitate to let me know. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for this. So, all right, see y'all tomorrow. Tuesday. What is you talking about? Oh, Lord. Carol says they went to West Catholic. Yeah, but where did they live, Carol? Where do white people in West Philly live at? Where? Mia says University City. Is that now or was it then? Why have I never met a white person that said they are from West Philly? I went to school with bunches and bunches of white people. Not one ever told me that they lived in West Philly. Southwest, Kensington, Port Richmond, Juniata, Fishtown, all of that shit. Frankfurt, Northeast. Definitely Northeast. They all grew up out there. We wasn't allowed to live out there or grow up out there. But West Philly, straight West Philly. You ask niggas, they'd be like, yeah, man, I'm from out west. I'm from the West, and it's the best. We dress the best out the West. And it was true. It was true. You know that out West Philly, they had the best dressers. It's true. It's true. They had the flyest girls in West Philly, out West Philly. I mean, it was Mount Airy and West Philly, but it was more out West Philly than Mount Airy, because in Mount Airy, you only had East Mount Airy. You ain't had no West Mount Airy. You couldn't afford to live out there. But anyway, West Philly is not for whites. Okay. Mia Cunningham says, a lot of my neighbors were white in University City and Powelton Village. See, when you start naming things like University City and Powelton Village, I'm looking for West Philly. 50th and Haverford. I'm looking for the real West Philly. You know, 52nd and Larchwood. West Philly. No bells and whistles. Yeah, West Philly. The real West Philly. Baltimore Ave is the new West Philly around Clark Park. That ain't even West Philly enough. You just that's still universe. Man, that's that University of Penn. I don't. That ain't. And you could argue that that's Southwest, because Clark Park. We talking. It's all we over there on not Woodland. Was Chester Ave? Chester Ave ain't no part of Chester Ave in West Philly. Chester Ave is Southwest Philly, even if it's at the lowest end. Man, once you cross Baltimore Avenue, you ain't in West Philly no more. That ain't West Philly. That ain't West Philly. I'm just saying, that ain't West Philly. That ain't West Philly. Nope. If you live anywhere near, you know what? You might. All right. I have friends who live around like 58th and Catherine. Now you go down Catherine Street. The farther you go down Catherine Street in the lower ends, you in South Philly. So if you come over to West Philly and you on the South Philly side, Catherine, Christian. Now this is before Baltimore Ave, but I don't know, man. To me, you know what? Once you get to Baltimore Ave, you definitely in Southwest Philly. I used to say Cedar Ave was the cutoff. Fight me on it. I say Cedar Ave is the cutoff to Southwest Philly. Fight me. Fight me. All right. TK Wright says, Carol, they've been saying that's West Philly. It's up to 58th in Baltimore now. Look, I grew up in the city. I ain't trying to hear this shit. TK Wright says they want to be from West so bad now. but those are all transplants. That's what I'm saying. No, they not from West Philly. They in West Philly. Carol says, I travel that way sometimes, and that's where I see it. Okay. Mia says, you not from around here. You from down north. No, I'm from Germantown. My people from down north. I live down north. Powelton Village ain't nothing but the bottom. Three two Underworld. Drexeltown? I don't know. All right. Mia says, excuse me, sir. University in Powelton Village is West Philly. No, why don't you just say West Philly then? See, when you live down the bottom, you gotta say that. You know, sometimes it's a badge of honor. Like, yo, I'm from the bottom. People from down the bottom who have made it, they'd be quick to tell you, let you know that don't be underestimating their toughness. They'd be like, I grew up down the bottom, so don't be trying to kick that bullshit to me. All right. Because if you remember when the projects the high-rise projects used to be down the bottom. So it was like, yeah, it was dangerous to go down the bottom before. Now, you'd be like, the bottom? You mean Powelton Village? Yeah. Okay. All right, that's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I remember when every place was violent. Now y'all gentrified and I don't know. All of y'all moms and went and got off welfare and y'all working and all this old crazy shit. All right. Anyway. Mia says Clark Park is not Southwest. And I say Chester Ave ain't West. Fight me. Chester Ave ain't West. Clark Park or no Clark Park? Would you gonna tell me Woodland Ave is West too? As long as it's down, I don't know, like 46. That's West. I don't think so. Nope. Shout out to the Jamaican spot, little. What's that? Little Jamaica. What is it called? Little Delicious at 49th and 49th and Woodland Ave. Good food, a lot of gravy. All right. TK Rice says this is crazy. They like to sound trendy, all proud about their kids in Clark Park now and Malcolm X Park. Well, Malcolm X Park is definitely West Philly. Malcolm X Park is definitely West Philly. Carol says you can enter Clark Park from Baltimore answer. But what about the other side of Clark Park? Because you got that side that start from Baltimore, but then you have Chester Ave, and then you got the other side that goes to Woodland. What about that? Y'all want to talk? Oh, what? What? Oh, all right. We good? Listen, we got to get back to talking over people's heads, man. Talking over people's heads. Make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Daily Go Getimism Show, and we're talking about feeling like you are talking above people's heads. Talking above people's heads. Talking over their heads. Cal says, I'm from North, so I can't relate. Mia says we are not friends for the rest of the day. Yeah, well, yeah, we be cool around 8:15, whatever. Shout out to the Boston Celtics for getting their ass whooped down 3-0. Shout out to all the Boston Celtics fans, the brand new Boston Celtics fans. Y'all the real MVPs. Beat the Sixers in 7, only get y'all ass swept. They not winning no games. Jimmy Butler ain't having none of it. Y'all look dumb. And now y'all demoralized down 3-0. Like the Lakers. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Oh, such passionate Mia. Such passion. Oh, she's from West Philly-ish. No, actually, I mean, you from West Philly. Your part. The bottom starts at 40th. The bottom does not start at 40th. You live at 36, you live at 38th. You are definitely down the bottom. My girl lived at 38th in Wallace. Or was it Mount Vernon? I think it was like 38th and Wallace. The projects was right there. It was right there. She lived over here. The projects was right there. Right there. Had to walk past them shits. It's hard to get it's hard to get to 38th and Wallace from Germantown. Hey, that's a lot of buses. Okay. Okay. No, it says that's like being in Cincinnati and saying you're going down to Cleveland. Yeah, that's pretty much how we do it. yo, y'all gotta watch your language. You can't talk about throat punches in the chat. YouTube is very they scrutinize against any type of violent verbiage in the chat. Be careful. Be careful. Of course, I can say whatever I want. All right. Carol says, I don't go to that side, sir. Well, a lot of people do. And the side of Baltimore Avenue that Clark Park is on is the Southwest Philly side. It's on the side. TK Ray says we talking over each other's heads right now. Vestibule versus foyer. All right. So back on topic, sir. Come out of the neighborhoods. Man, y'all started it. And I'm gonna edit this episode to prove it. All right, anyway. Yeah, man, when you're talking above somebody's heads, with communication is so important. It brings people together. It solves problems. It cools heads. It builds communities. It repairs bridges. And so I want to take a minute to talk about people who relish in speaking above people's heads, thinking that they smarter than other people, thinking that they got it going on, thinking that the things that they're talking about is it. Like that's that shit. I want to talk about that for a second because a lot of people believe that them speaking in languages, speaking in terms and using I want to say terms. I want to say using not language. But you know how like when you have an area of expertise, so you might be talking about things that only people who work in your field will know about. Like if you work in construction, you're going to be talking about rafters, you're going to be talking about certain machinery, you're going to be talking about the way that y'all do things that other people are just not going to understand. If you're a carpenter, same thing. If you are a nurse, same thing. So like if I was to play if I was to play this has actually happened. One time I played a nurse in Scrabble and she was using all of these nurse terms, you know, because she knew a bunch of them. So they were, that's not those words weren't in my everyday language. So she wasn't cheating, but she was using nurse bars. She was breaking down the nurse bars and and she was doing well in the game. So I'm like, it makes sense. The same way that if I was a psychology major or something like that, I would be using words that I know from psychology. So just because you don't recognize the words that I'm using doesn't mean that it's not words. The words are the words, but we're not communicating. So it's going to seem like we're talking above each other's heads or trying to when that's not necessarily what's happening. But you have to watch out when it comes to inadvertently talking above somebody's heads. But there are people out there who want to talk above people's heads. There are people out there who wanna seem smarter or make somebody else seem dumber. There are people who relish in that type of behavior. That's what they want to do. And sometimes you might run into a person like that and it might get under your skin. Cause you like, listen, I'm just trying to kick it with you, and over here trying to make me look dumb, or you acting like you got an axe to grind, or something like that. Like, wait, why are we doing that? We don't have to do that. Vita B, what's going on, Vita? Vita, 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 what's going on? But yeah. So people like that to me have a really, really outstanding character flaw. There's an outstanding character flaw to try to purposely talk over somebody's head because you think that it makes you look more intelligent. And they might be doing that in front of other people, so it'll make you seem like you are less intelligent, like you don't get it, like you some kind of peon, like you just a dummy, like you some uneducated hooligan out here trying to kick it with people that are smart. Flowers for Algernon. Do you know the story about Flowers for Algernon? There was a movie. There was a book called Flowers for Algernon. And Flowers for Algernon was about an autistic man that they had done this experiment on to try to raise his level of intelligence or whatever. So they like I believe they did like not like a lobotomy, but something like that in order to try to raise his intelligence level. They made a movie about it. If you ever want to check out the movie for Flowers for Algernon, because he had a lot of challenges after they made him smart, but they didn't really make him smart. They just sort of put him in an area in situations where it would seem like he was getting his weight up mentally, psychologically, educationally, and it wasn't. The movie was called Charlie. Felt like that. All right. We gonna look it up. We gonna look. Okay. All right. All right. Flowers for Algernon. I remember we had to read this this book, play or whatever. Yeah, it was a play. Um, in seventh grade. Okay, let's see. Let's see what I can tell y'all about Flowers for Algernon. If we can get a short synopsis. The novel is made up of a series of progress reports written by a man named Charlie Gordon. As the as the novel begins, Charlie Gordon is mentally disabled with an IQ of 68. Oh gosh, stop trying to sell me shit. Get out of here. Charlie Gordon is mentally disabled with an IQ of 68. He works at a bakery and attends classes at night to learn how to read and write. Because of Charlie's motivation, his teacher, Alice Kenyon, recommends him for a cutting edge experimental surgery designed by Professor Harold Niemer and Dr. Strauss. Strauss and Niemer believe that they can greatly increase intelligence through this operation. They've already performed their surgery on a mouse named Algernon, who has become super intelligent. Charlie competes with Algernon in mazes and other intelligence tests and loses every time. Charlie undergoes the surgery and is told that he'll soon have an IQ of 185. At first, Charlie doesn't feel intelligent at all. He continues working at the bakery where his coworkers tease him and bully him for his clumsiness. In the evening, Charlie continues meeting with Alice, who tells him to remain patient. Charlie begins to have vague flashbacks to his childhood, a period of time that he barely remembers. At work, Charlie slowly shows signs of increased intelligence. He becomes adept at mixing dough and gets a raise for his efforts. He has wet dreams, which Strauss, who acts as his therapist, explains to him. Charlie also beats Algernon in intelligence tests. At the same time, he begins to have more frequent flashbacks. He remembers that his mother, Rose Gordon, would spank him for being bad and that she vehemently denied that he was mentally challenged. He also had a sister named Norma Gordon who hated Charlie for getting too much attention from their parents. So y'all get it. No, the movie was just called Charlie. Just like I spelled it. Not Charlie with an E. Charlie. Charly. Matter of fact. Matter of fact. Tell you when the movie came out. The movie came out in 1968. Mm-hmm. The movie came out in 68. Shirley Sherrill, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Sherrill, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Anyway, I brought up the whole Flowers for Algernon thing, the whole Charlie thing, because sometimes people can try to make you seem like you are Charlie. They're trying to make a Charlie out of you, trying to talk above your head, trying to make you look like a dummy. And the thing is, you make the wrong person feel like a dummy, and they might knock your head off. So the same head that you thought you were speaking over, then knocked your head off. Probably the best example that I can think of when it comes to this is Mike Tyson. Remember how dumb everybody thought Mike Tyson was in the late 80s, early 90s? Remember, nobody thought that Mike Tyson was intelligent. They used to, so many comedians teased him about his little lisp or his little, his high voice, for such a tough exterior and all of that. That's ludicrous. All that old bullshit. Come to find out that Mike Tyson is one of the most intelligent people that has ever been in sports. But it was like an evolution. He had to get his chance to shine. But people who were probably not as intelligent as Mike Tyson is or was, were trying to make him look dumb at any chance that they got. And sometimes people may have done that to you. Well, I brought up Mike Tyson because when Tyson would get frustrated or angry or feel disrespected by people, it wasn't normally a good look. And he was pretty good at figuring out when people were trying to belittle him. And he didn't like it. And you wouldn't like it. And I wouldn't like it. None of us do. So speaking of trying to speak over somebody's heads on purpose, it's not really a good idea. It doesn't attract people to you. It doesn't make people want to be around you and all of that. I mean, I've known people who speak above people's heads intermittently because they're assholes. And you can get along with an asshole. Sometimes people think that assholes are funny or because you might not be an asshole all the time, but when you turn your asshole on, it might be like, oh God, he's doing the asshole thing. He about to grind him up. He about to grind him up. He about to grind him up. Yeah, I'm an asshole, as you know, but it ain't never about speaking over nobody's heads. I want you to understand exactly what I'm saying to you. I don't want to be, what I mean. I don't get nothing out of people misunderstanding me. V to B says my ex would do this do this all the time on purpose. He told me that certain people were ducks to him. He would say that he would say he was, quote, too smart. Okay. They were ducks to him, huh? You said your ex was from New York, right? Duck alert. Yeah. Ansel Jones says when rappers use SAT words. You said he managed credit repair. Oh gosh. Okay. This is starting to make sense. Yeah, I'm sure he was talking above people's heads all the time if he was in credit repair. That was kind of part of his job, to make people understand what their options were in order to get their credit state straight. So some people use that to their advantage, and sometimes people use that to their disadvantage. Started an LLC here. Okay. Cheryl says, hi, what up, Shirley? Cheryl. Nora says, my favorite Tyson quote, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Yo, I got this strategy. I'm gonna go in there. Oh, have you ever seen somebody get hit in the face so hard that they grab their face instead of defending themselves? Violence is funny until you see it in person. That shit is, yo. If you've ever seen anybody get knocked out in person, you realize, like, nah, it ain't really cool. Even when you see them in those little, in them videos that people be sharing and all that, them videos that be going viral. When you see it in person, you realize how serious that shit is. When you see somebody get knocked out, you don't be thinking that they just got knocked out. You be thinking they're gonna die. It ain't cool. It ain't cool. It ain't cool. Especially considering the fact that many have died. All right. 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 Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious day. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 audience. May 22nd, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Marianne Woodward turning 75 years old today. And also China English turning 50 years old today. And Guy's work, Ying Yees, turning 43 years old today. And Argath Jean-Pierre turning 33 years old today. And Brina Breen turning 52 years old today. And Evelyn Taylor turning 45 years old today. And Brenda Burns Muhammad turning 66 years old today. And my girl, Deborah Hayes turning 69 years old today. And Denise Reed, happy birthday to you. And Trine China, my girl Trine China, happy birthday to you. And Patricia T, turning 42 years old today. Last but not least, my girl Patricia T. And you know what? I have never seen, we have been friends on Facebook for maybe like close to maybe since like 2010, 2012 at the latest. And I don't know what she looks like at all. Never seen a picture. But happy birthday to you. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And this goes out to all of y'all and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious May 22nd, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. I rock out, rock on it, do the damn, the rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen, talking above somebody's heads, that may make you feel good about yourself, make you feel like you're smarter than other people. But you know, being smarter than other people is a lonely place. Not being able to communicate with people is a lonely place. It's not a good position, because if people can't understand you, then they don't want to deal with you. They don't want to do business with you. You know, you seem suspicious if you can't communicate with people on a level that they can understand. I mean, can you at least understand that? Can you at least understand that? If I don't understand you, then I don't know if I can trust you. And if I don't know if I can trust you, then I don't want to give you my money. I don't want to do business with you. I don't want to be in a loving situation with you. I don't know where you're coming from. And you're not working hard, or you don't even seem concerned with the fact that I don't know what you're talking about, homie. I don't. And I need to. Try not to speak above people's heads when you can do better. And if you find out later on that you have been speaking above somebody's heads, try to, you know, when you're talking to a person or when you're talking to people, ask them if they understand what you're talking about. And if necessary, even if they say that they understand, explain it anyway. Sometimes people get offended by that, but a lot of times people are thankful for it. And you can just let them know, like, listen, I'm only explaining this because it's not easy for me to understand some of the things that I'm talking to you about. Like, I used to really struggle with it. So I never wanted to see anybody go through what I went through. So I'm just explaining. I'm not saying that you don't understand. I know that you're smart. Questions that don't get asked don't have to get answered. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all and love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night for another daily Go Get 'Emism social. Y'all stay up, stay easy, and stay right. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't subscribed to the channel yet. So Blog Talk, we gonna get you out of here. Yeah, 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 yeah. And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side. My boobas coming through on the other side. My boobas, peace.